2, 13a. So I have log 12x plus 4 is more than, now we change the 1 to log 10 plus log x plus 2. And then now I can apply my log laws. So I'm going to say log 12x plus 4 is then more than 10 log 10 times x plus 2. Now we can cancel the logs on both sides and you can just solve your equation. So 12x plus 4 is more than 10x plus 20. So we just bring the 10 over and solve the value there, and I have that x is more than 8. X is then more than 8. 2x is more than 16 and x is more than 8. Now if we look at the B one, y squared minus 4y is equal to 1, then in the first place this will be y squared minus 4y minus 1. We always equate it to 0. To solve it, you equate it to 0. Now this one will need the formula. Can you see how they mix the questions? So this one will be negative 4 plus or minus negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 1 over 2. And the two solutions that I have is 4.24 or negative 0.24. So I have to use the formula here. Now, the next part of the question is now a very nice way that they ask it there. Look at this one. Now they say at B2, 2 to the power of 2x minus 2 to the power of x plus 2 is equal to 1. And now you can ask, how on earth am I going to solve that? And we are using, that word hence tells you, use your previous information. And we're going to use our previous information. And you have to see that there's a relationship between these two. Okay, now there's the 1. Let's just first write it like this. So what does this mean? Because I add, I multiply. So 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 1. So this is then 2 to the power of 2x minus 4 times 2x. And if I bring over that one, there is now a relationship between these two. So what we're going to say is let y is equal to 2 to the power of x. So if you look at that, and I say now here y, this is y, so it means this is y squared. This is also y, so it means it is 4y minus 1 is equal to 0. And now this equation is exactly this one. Can you see? So that means I can just use these values now to find my final value. So now we go back to this one, and we said y is equal to 2 to the power of x. This was the two values that you got there. So I can say that 2 to the power of x is equal to 4.24. Because y is equal to 2x, and y is equal to that, so y is equal to this one. Or we can say 2 to the power of x is equal to negative 0.24. And now we have to unlock it again. You have to unlock it. So it is then, this one is then, so here x is equal, so you will say log 4.24 divide by log 2. We will use that method again, and this is 2.08. Now, we're not going to calculate this one because there's a negative answer, and the logs cannot give you a negative answer. We are working here with logs, and it cannot give you a negative answer, so we write here invalid. Invalid for that one. Right, so now we're looking at question 14. Question 14. Given that the variables y and x are related by the equation, determine the values for which y is defined. Now, the question is now, when will it be defined? And it will be defined if this x plus 3 is more than 0. Or here also, if x minus 3 is more than 0. Then logs are defined. Logs are defined for more than 0. For more than 0. That was one of the rules that you've learned there. So that means then x should be more than 3, or x should be more than negative 3. X should be more than 3 because logs should be positive. Logs should be positive. Then find the value of x when y is 4. So now I'm just going to equate it to 4. So 4 is equal to log base 2 of x plus 3. I'm going to apply my log law there. This is then log, no, don't need to write the log again there. It will just be x minus 3. Because I multiply, because I add, I multiply. But I still cannot work with this one because of this 4. So I need to change this one also to log base 2. Now again, remember, every time I refer you back to this one. 2 to the power of 3 is 8. Log base 2 of 8 is 3. This is what we're using all the time. So I need to change the 4 now to log base 2. So the question is 2 to the power of 4 is 16. So this is log base 2 of 16. The answer is the index. So the 4 is the index there. Okay. Now I can cancel the logs on both sides, here and here. So then you just have 16 is equal to x squared minus 9. And that means x squared is equal to 25, which means x is equal to plus or minus 5. X is equal to plus or minus 5. And now again, in this case, because it is logs, we'll have to say x is equal to 5. And then this one will just be x is more than 5. You don't really need to work out the whole inequality again then there. Question 15. The function is defined by fx negative log base 2 of x for x more than 0. This is what log should be. Sketch the graph labeling any intercepts with a coordinate axis. Now, how do I get those coordinates of the axis? If you cut the x-axis, y is 0. If you cut the y-axis, x is 0. So you'll have to substitute. Remember, this is y. You'll have to substitute a 0 in there and a 0 in there to find those places where it will cut it. How will we draw the graph? Set a table. Choose a scale to draw that one then there. So this graph with, let's just insert one there again, number 15. So fx is equal to negative log base 2 of x. So I will set up a table to be able to draw that one. Remember then, as I said, if you cut the x-axis, y is 0. If you cut the y-axis, x is 0. You need to find those places there. So if we draw the graph now here, it looks like this. It is an exponential graph, and this is then fx. Remember to label them. Draw your arrows, asymptotes. We need all those things. and it will cut here at 1, 0. It will cut there at 1, 0. So it will not cut the y-axis because it's asymptotes. Then they ask you to sketch the graph of y is equal to hx on the same diagram that was drawn for you. H is now the reflection. Now that's fairly easy to draw if it's the reflection. So this one will look like this. So this one is then hx. You can label this one then as hx, then there. And then they say express this one. So at B2, we have now to give the equation of this one. So y is equal to now, if you reflect it in the x-axis, then the sign there will change. So it's going to be log base 2 of x. So if it's a reflection in the x-axis, that sign there changes. And then the last one is, now remember this is a reflection. Now we need to find the inverse function. So if I start with that one, y is equal to negative log base 2 of x, then how do we get inverse functions? We swap, isn't it? So x is then equal to negative log base 2 of y. And now we still have to give it as y is equal to, so now we're going to say y is equal to 2 to the power of negative x. 2 to the power of negative x. So the inverse function, remember we have to write now if negative 1x is then equal to 2 to the power of negative x. Look at the difference between the reflection and the inverse function. The inverse function will now, this y 2 to the power of negative x will now actually lie here. Right, thank you.
With us on #LearnOn1. Tell us what you're learning and where you're learning it from. Send us your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
Namibia is known for its beautiful wide open landscapes. However, these deserted spaces also pose numerous educational challenges in our country's rural areas. Because of this, many learners are denied access to proper teaching and learning. At EduVision, we believe that education is the starting point to a journey of endless possibilities.
Soon and very soon, we are going to see e-learning. Soon and very soon, we are going to see.
The plan for EduVision was to identify areas in Namibia that do not have the proper learning resources, a working school or an education center.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, we are going to see e-learning. No more dieting, no more dieting.
My name is Philip Smith. I'm the principal of Edugate Academy in Otjiwarongo. The project EduVision, the e-learning program, started in 2017. With a project like this, obviously telecommunication, internet connection is a major thing that need to be sorted out, a logistical challenge. And the fact that we chose Chunkwe Secondary School as the first school didn't make it easier for ourselves. It's very far from Otjiwarongo, it's far from Buntuk. So the internet connection was a big challenge first of all. So with the help of the telecommunications expert Paratus, they made this dream come true with internet connections via Buntuk, Otjiwarongo to Chunkwe and then back, the whole process. Like I said, it's interactive whiteboard, so the internet speed, capacity of the connectivity and so forth plays a major role. And so Paratus made this dream come true, and they were on board from the first moment. So very grateful for Paratus.
The project offers teaching assistance of a high standard in science to rural secondary schools within the learner's own community by means of e-learning. This entails the following: live transmissions of lessons from an equipped teacher in a different location to the students in rural areas, students using their own cell phone, tablet or computer to recall each lesson, and interactive lessons, as well as the use of a smartboard as a teaching aid.
So if you look ahead at the next 3 years, we get information from the Ministry of Education. The future is very bright. So I think there's a lot of schools who can benefit from this program. Like I mentioned before, finances obviously plays a major role in a project like this. So we're very thankful for all the sponsors that are on board and still on board after almost 3 years of the project. So as long as people from the private sector can get involved, I think we can reach many schools in Namibia, because this project made a good start now. We're already seeing some positive results, and we can just call on all the private sector corporate sponsors to come on board and join in this very, very positive project.
It is EduVision's goal to prepare and guide learners in order to make the modern world they are living in accessible to all.
My name is Magdalena Nyoma. I'm 18 years old and I'm doing my first year at UNAM Command campus, and I completed my grade 12 at Chunkwe Senior Secondary School. I'm doing education, so I'm gonna teach at Chunkwe Secondary School, because there I really need to go there and motivate the learners. EduVision helped me a lot. It assisted us in teaching for mathematics, physical science, and biology. And it also, we get to exchange learning from other schools like Educate, whereby they teach us, and that's the most thing that we benefited from. Studying without EduVision was so challenging, and when EduVision was introduced at our school, things become more easier. The time where EduVision was not introduced, we were so slow in learning, and when EduVision introduced at our school, my learning speed increases. Things were kind of boring, and when EduVision came, my mind changed the way I think. I'm really grateful for what EduVision gave us. Our class of 2019 was the first group to make it to perform very well at Chunkwe Senior Secondary School. So it should keep up the spirit. We need that it should continue to support us.
EduVision aspires to ensure that equal opportunity is offered to every learner in rural areas to tap into his or her own potential while working in an environment which views disadvantages not as obstacles but as unique attributes that can be regarded as powerful assets when given the proper opportunity. At EduVision, we believe that dreams are the foundation of knowledge and hope always triumphs over experience.
No more problems. Everything is proper. EduVision,
We always love to hear from you. Send us your views, comments and videos with your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV, it just gets better.
saying things that degrade women, for me, number one, I am not there, because that is basically what I don't believe in. I don't stand for things that degrade women.
What do you think we can add? What can we put in the basket?
First of all, let's put Blossom back in the basket.
Look at the person like, man,
Let's do a song.
Let's do something.
Just
Let's
like that.
collaborate.
Let's collaborate.
The Americans were claiming us.
Yes, exactly. To the rest of the world, they belong to us. Namibia, Baba, Namibia.
I'll help you carry on.
Creating music and putting some stuff out for the people who've been supporting me, that's definitely something that's next on my list.
In this beat down we do it. Ilinande slow mo studio. Una kutu kwiki na go radio.
We don't compromising. In this beat we do it. Ilina emeramo studio. Magata kwiki no radio.
Ain't no compromising. In this beat down we do it. Ilinande slow mo studio.